What's good? It's your boy, and I'm back with another banging video. And today we have a comedian on the channel. You guys know I love comedians, and I love to laugh. So hopefully we got a good one today. It was a request reaction. We have George Carlin. Religion is bull. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know it's jokety jokes. So don't be getting too pressed. We want to have a good laugh. We want to have a good conversation. I just want to have a good time with y'all. Good energy, positivity. Let's do this. But before we jump into it, guys, do me two favors. Like and subscribe. Subscribe, please. I'm trying to get to hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You feel me? And each and every one of you could help me to reach my goal. Everyone's subscriber counts, please. Spaz up the little buttons at the bottom. But the second thing I wanted you guys to do, like the video. By liking the video the way the YouTube algorithm works, YouTube will show the video to more people. So therefore, not only will more people see the video, so you directly helping me out, more people will find out about George Carlin. And if he's funny, you know what I'm saying, we're going to be posting a lot about him on the channel. So you're probably going to be seeing a lot of me posting, trying to laugh, and do other comedians. So if you have any other comedians you want to check out other than him, or any more from him that you want me to check out, make sure you're dropping that down in the comments. Join the conversation. With that being said, I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. George Carlin, religion is bull. Let's jump into it.
But in the bullshit department, a businessman can't hold a candle to a clergyman. Because I got to tell you the truth, folks. I got to tell you the truth. When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest. Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it.
All right, for those of y'all who came in here and y'all didn't know what to expect, I'm already knowing he's about to go in. He's straightforward, and from all the cussing, I know he has no filter. So this is some of the favorite things I love from my comedians. So religion is an iffy topic. I know some people get upset. It's jokes, guys. Let's try to enjoy our time here. I love his charisma so far, his energy, and especially as an old guy, I love when people have so much personality. You know, you can tell he has a huge personality, and that's one thing people aren't blessed with. So I appreciate when some people are able to put that performance on the way he is so far, and I know he's about to go in on religion. So let's jump back into it.
Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish, where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you.
Yo, okay, first of all, let me say this. He's barking up the right tree. I always question everything. It's hard for me to explain because I believe in certain stuff, but I gotta like tune in because I don't like church, but I love the thought of religion. But there's so many questions that are unanswered, and I see where he's going with this, right? I feel like at a certain extent there's a certain amount of brainwash within religion, and I'm not trying to go too far. I'm not trying to bash it. I'm gonna let him do his thing, you know what I'm saying? But that's what he's saying. Now I don't know, is he atheist, guys? Let me know in the comments, like, where is he? Like, you can see he's not a believer in at least what they're talking about. But there's the questions. I believe in a higher entity, don't get me wrong, but church is the problem, in my opinion. And the only people that's gonna understand what I'm saying, And it's not all the churches, it's not all the pastors, it's not all the religions, but the ones I've seen, the ones I've went to, the churches are going out. Not only the gaps in what they're saying, or when you question certain things, you get no answer and it's just faith. You know what I'm saying? I love to have answers to my question. I don't appreciate being short-ended when I want to finish something out. So definitely got some great points going in. And I'm going to go deeper into this. I don't want to get too deep and ramble on. So we're going to jump back into it. But he's got some points. And honestly, he's doing the jokey jokes right now. But he's talking some crazy, some controversial ish. But that's comedy is one of those things where you can put it out into the world. And that's what I appreciate about it. Let's jump back into it.
He loves you and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow, just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions of dollars. They pay no taxes, and they always need a little more. Now, you talk about a good bullshit story. Holy shit. But, thank you very much. But I want you to know something. This is sincere. I want you to know, when it comes to believing in God, I really tried. I really tried. I tried to believe that there is a God who created each of us in his own image and likeness, loves us very much, and keeps a close eye on things. I really tried to believe that, but I got it.
Before you go any further, let me say something, because I know y'all see a look on my face, and this is what I've been wanting to say the whole time, because it's crazy, because I feel like this is my path, but I still believe. It's just it feels like he stopped believing. That's okay. I'm not judging. I'm not here to judge anybody. But the religion, what he's speaking on, oh my goodness, give me something to talk about. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's get into the conversation. Bro, first of all, the money thing. That's why I stopped, because I didn't want to say too much. I want him to get into his topics. I wanted to see if he was going to hit the same things I was hitting. The money thing. You know what I'm saying? The faith without like getting the whole full answer and the full understanding on things. That was a lot. That was another thing that left me questioning. I believe in a higher entity. I believe in there is something, but I don't believe it's so separate as to where there's Buddha, there's Allah, and I believe it's all one thing, one entity, and the one entity came to everybody and looked the way they portrayed him. You know, it looked like this. It looked like Buddha for the people that praise Buddha. It looked like Allah for the people that praise Allah. It looked like Jesus for the people that praise Jesus. I feel like it came to them and looked the way they interpreted it. And it's just the same entity, because if this entity could create the realms and create the world and do all this, then why couldn't he just change his shape and shape shift and look like this for them and look like this for us? I feel like it's all about division. That separates us. I feel like it's all one entity, but since we all gotta praise this, that, and this, we all gotta separate. That's another reason. And I feel like is a part of the government. It ties into the government, but I'm not gonna go too far into that. We're not going to conspiracy theories. We're not going too far into that. The money. That was another big part that he got into. That's one of my biggest reasons. I want to go to church. Sometimes I would like to praise with the people or whatever. But in order for you to do that in my neighborhood, I don't know how it is where he's from or where you're from, but they pass the basket around. When I used to go to church back in the day, they used to pass the basket around maybe twice. You know what I'm saying? Recently, if you go, 6 times. Like, and then like it's like you got to give a certain amount to this, and I understand keeping the church open and everything, but we struggling on bills and everything, and just it's not no price you can put on my praise. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna praise this entity and I'm gonna do what I want and I'm gonna believe and have faith in what I want to, there shouldn't be no price on it. If I don't have that to give, then that shouldn't be a problem. Is that a problem within the church? When that becomes a problem that I don't have to give and I can't come praise here, that's my problem. You know what I'm saying? And it's so many other things. And it's the stories, the gaps. It's so much. But he's getting into a lot, so I'm gonna jump back into it. I'm sorry I'm talking so much. It's just one of those topics. I do that a lot sometimes. Let's jump back into it.
Tell you, the longer you live, the more you look around, the more you realize something is fucked up. Something is wrong.
Definitely.
Here. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, torture, crime, corruption, and the ice capades. Something is definitely wrong. This is not good work.
Speak.
If this is the best God can do, I am not impressed. Results like these do not belong on the resume of a supreme being. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from an office temp with a bad attitude. And just between you and me, in any decently run universe, this guy would have been out on his all-powerful ass a long time ago. And by the way, I say this guy because I firmly believe, looking at these results, that if there is a God, it has to be a man. No woman could or would ever fuck things up like this. If there is a God, if there is, I think most reasonable people might agree that he's at least incompetent and maybe, just maybe, doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit, which I admire in a person and which would explain a lot of these bad results. So rather than be just another mindless religious robot, mindlessly and aimlessly and blindly believing that all of this is in the hands of some spooky, incompetent father figure who doesn't give a shit, I decided to look around for something else to worship, something I could really count on. And immediately, I thought of the sun. Happened like that. Overnight, I became a sun worshiper. Well, not overnight, you can't see the sun at night. But first thing the next morning, I became a sun worshiper. Several reasons. First of all, I can see the sun, okay? Yeah. Unlike some other gods I could mention, I can actually see the sun. I'm big on that. If I can see something, I don't know, kind of helps the credibility along, you know? So every day I can see the sun.
Yo, for my religious people that's watching this, oh my gosh, I know they're in their seats right now. Oh, and that's the thing that really makes me cringe about this one, because he has no filter. And the people that are big on religion, that fully believe in the spiritual, go to church go to church 2 times, 3 times a week. Oh, there's no way they can sit down and listen to this whole thing, because not only, you know what I'm saying, is he funny, but he's making some good points. And in a funny aspect or good comedy, there's some truth. There's some truth in there. But to get past that, I think the sun thing is an actual thing, though. I think like the sun god is an actual thing. So him worshiping the sun god, you know, that's I dead ass think people actually worship that. So, but the concrete aspect of having something physical that you could see, not physical, because I don't know if I call it the sun physical, but something that you could actually see, I understand why you would worship that differently. But people worship so many different things. I got one question before I jump back into it, because I'm going to jump right back into it. I could ramble on all day. So, why do you worship? Whatever religion you are, even if you're not a religion, why do you, in my question, like, worship the religion that you worship? Or why are you like the religion that you are? And the only question I ask that, and if you chose it and you decided to be that, then that's cool. I fully understand that worship, you picked that with your own, you know what I'm saying, your own mind, your own brain power. Cool. My big thing is the ones that were not, I don't want to say forced into it, but it was always there. It was always something that, you know what I'm saying, and you didn't have a choice, because like, I don't know, in my community, you're kind of forced to do that on Sunday, you know what I'm saying, when you're younger. Oh, you got to come to church. You got to, you know what I'm saying? It's no question. So that's why I ask, like, how did you, you know what I'm saying, get into religion? Because was it something that you just always did because you was younger, and you just kind of wasn't your thing, but you got into it because you were there all the time, and you had to go to Sunday school and this and that, so it was just kind of, you know. And when you answer that question, where did it start for the person that brought you? I feel like it all stems from the fact that it was put into our face from our, you know, guidance. So we gonna go do that regardless. And then once you get to a certain age, you're gonna be able to choose and decide whether you agree with this or not. And then some people go into it blind and just completely, you know what I'm saying, just rock with it, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can't question it. And that's my only problem, when you can't question. I just love to question everything, and I love to have an answer and get closure to whatever it is. So when you can't question it, that's one of my biggest problems. But I am very spiritual, and I do believe in a higher entity. It's just the church, and having to be in church and pray with these other people and have to read the Bible together as a collective, thinking that's the only way you can pray, is a problem for me. I think that you can do it in any way or any form you feel like you need to or you can. And if you need to do it by yourself, or if you want to do it at home, whatever way you can speak to them and do what you need to do, you can get it done, right? That's how I feel. But let's jump back into it.
As it gives me everything I need: heat, light, food, flowers in the park, reflections on the lake, an occasional skin cancer. But hey, at least there are no crucifixions, and we're not setting people on fire simply because they don't agree with us. Sun worship is fairly simple. There's no mystery, no miracles, no pageantry, no one asks for money, there are no songs to learn, and we don't have a special building where we all gather once a week to compare clothing. And the best thing about the sun, it never tells me I'm unworthy. Doesn't tell me I'm a bad person who needs to be saved. Hadn't said an unkind word. Treats me fine. So I worship the sun. But I don't pray to the sun. Know why? I wouldn't presume on our friendship. It's not polite. I've often thought people treat God rather rudely, don't you? Asking trillions and trillions of prayers every day, asking and pleading and begging for favors. Do this, give me that, I need a new car, I want a better job. And most of this praying takes place on Sunday, his day off. It's not nice, and it's no way to treat a friend. But people do pray, and they pray for a lot of different things. You know, your sister needs an operation on her crotch. Your brother was arrested for defecating in a mall. But most of all, you'd really like to fuck that hot little redhead down at the convenience store. You know, the one with the eye patch and the club foot. Huh?
No, my guy, no.
Can you pray for that? I think you'd have to. And I say, fine, pray for anything you want. Pray for anything. But what about the divine plan? Remember that? The divine plan. Long time ago, God made a divine plan. Gave it a lot of thought, decided it was a good plan, put it into practice. And for billions and billions of years, the divine plan has been doing just fine. Now you come along and pray for something. Well, suppose the thing you want isn't in God's divine plan. What do you want him to do? Change his plan? Just for you?
That's how
seem
some
a little
people
arrogant.
feel.
It's a divine plan. What's the use of being God if every rundown schmuck with a $2 prayer book can come along and fuck up your plan? And here's something else, another problem you might have. Suppose your prayers aren't answered. What do you say? Well, it's God's will. Thy will be done. Fine, but if it's God's will and he's going to do what he wants to anyway, why the fuck bother praying in the first place? Seems like a big waste of time to me. Couldn't you?
He just mind the F out of us. He just mind the F out of us because we thought we was getting somewhere. Well, y'all thought y'all was getting somewhere. He mind. Why would you? I'm sorry, whoever don't like this video, but I actually think he got some good points. And the praying to the sun god, you know, everybody can do what they please. So if that's what, you know what I'm saying, that would floats his boat, then watch out to stop him. I think he's giving his honest opinion, and he's giving some of the things that people are able to say. And that's the thing I love about comedy, man. He's able to say some of the things people got to keep their mouth closed about, or there's going to be so many people talking down on him. And I know people are talking crazy about him for this one. So I definitely want to see some more of his stand-up. Definitely love the filter, but I love the honesty. And I love the fact that he chose to make it funny, to get out something he possibly really wanted to speak about anyway. You know, get it out into the world anyway and be able to get a laugh from it. I appreciate the style and his charisma. For an old fella, he has a huge personality and a lot of energy. I love that. Let's jump back into it.
Just skip the praying part and go right to his will. It's all very confusing. So to get around a lot of this, I decided to worship the sun. But as I said, I don't pray to the sun. You know who I pray to? Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci.
Joe
Two reasons.
Pesci.
First of all, I think he's a good actor, okay? To me, that counts. Second, he looks like a guy who can get things done. Joe Pesci doesn't fuck around. Doesn't fuck around. In fact, Joe Pesci came through on a couple of things that God was having trouble with. For years, I asked God to do something about my noisy neighbor with the barking dog. Joe Pesci straightened that cocksucker out with one visit. It's amazing what you can accomplish with a simple baseball bat.
Wow.
So I've been praying to Joe for about a year now. And I noticed something. I noticed that all the prayers I used to offer to God and all the prayers I now offer to Joe Pesci are being answered at about the same 50% rate.
No,
Half the time I get what I want, half the time I don't. Same as God, 50-50. Same as the four-leaf clover and the horseshoe, the wishing well and the rabbit's foot. Same as the mojo man. Same as the voodoo lady who tells you your fortune by squeezing the goat's testicles. It's all the same, 50-50. So just pick your superstition, sit back, make a wish, and enjoy yourself. And for those of you who look to the Bible for moral lessons and literary qualities, I might suggest a couple of other stories for you. You might want to look at The Three Little Pigs. That's a good one. Has a nice, happy ending. I'm sure you'll like that. Then there's Little Red Riding Hood, although it does have that X-rated part where the big bad wolf actually eats the grandmother, which I didn't care for, by the way. And finally, I've always drawn a great deal of moral comfort from Humpty Dumpty. The part I like the best, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's because there is no Humpty Dumpty and there is no God. None, not one, no God, never was. In fact, I'm gonna put it this way. If there is a God, may he strike this audience dead. See, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everybody's okay. All right? Tell you what.
Why you didn't do it to you?
Tell you what. I'll raise the stakes. I'll raise the stakes a little bit. If there is a God, may he strike me dead. See? Nothing happened. Oh, wait. Got a little cramp in my leg. And my balls hurt. Plus, I'm blind. I'm blind. Oh, now I'm okay again. Must have been Joe Pesci, huh? God bless Joe Pesci. Thank you all very much.
Oh,
Joe
my
bless
goodness.
you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
This guy. That's the end of the video. He just really went in on religion, and he did a great stand up. This was a great segment. I like a segment with a little bit of truth to it. When I'm listening to my comedy, I love a guy that, or a female, not only a guy, but I love a comedian that has no filter, that's not afraid to hit the aspects that people are whatever, you know, those topics that people are scared to hit, and he definitely went in. This is one that a lot of people would be scared to touch. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to check out some more of him. And just because the honesty in it, his energy, his enthusiasm, and the personality, he kind of just brought the whole act alive. His performance was amazing. I see why y'all like him as an artist. I think I'm gonna have to check out a lot more of him. It was a good one. If I had to rate it, I'm gonna rate it. I rated a 60 out of 10. I rate over the top videos with an over the top rating. That's, you know, that's where I thought his comedy was at. And for me, rated over, you know what I'm saying, over 10, I get to pick the rating system. So that's what I'm gonna give him. But yeah, if you guys want to see any more of him on the channel, make sure y'all liking, subscribing. By liking the video, I'm gonna know y'all want to see a lot more of him coming. It's gonna let me know by seeing the likes. I'm gonna come back with a video from him ASAP. But whatever stand up y'all want to see, make sure y'all dropping that out in the comments so I know which one would be the best next one to watch. But until next time, I hope you know what it is, and I'm out your dick.